Fe has a walk.
It sounds like someone who's on a mission, not in a rush, right? But on a mission, very confident, very measured steps. I mean, I think I want to walk like that because it sounds like someone who has extreme purpose.
People always ask me if I work in fashion. I'd be invited to major events to speak on content marketing or leadership, and more than my expertise, I'll be remembered as the most overdressed person in the room.
I will never forget the day I was introduced to Fee because it's Fee. When she walked in a room, right, you would immediately see someone that's larger and louder than life, both, physically and metaphorically, and the way that she dresses up and the way that she presents herself. If Fee was a product, her packaging would be so unique, distinct, and salient.
It's a level of confidence that commands attention. In business, people need assurance, and that is exactly what I give them.
I actually met Fee for the first time during my interview, and I actually stalked her. I thought she was a dragon lady, so I really dressed up and like wore red lipstick before I met her because I knew I had to impress her.
Dressing up isn't for other people, it's for yourself. Even when you're working from home, most of the time you don't have to meet someone in person to still make the effort. It's about how it makes you feel.
Anyone who's traveled with Fee or who's been to her hotel room, you can see that she is not a light packer. Wherever she goes, no matter how tired she is, she never skips her 10-step hair care regimen, and she would always pack her Dyson products wherever she goes because she really has to present herself.
I demand it of myself. Even on my absolute laziest days, I made sure that at least my hair is on point, or at least I'm wearing one piece of standout accessory. Because how you present yourself on the outside sets the internal standard of how you operate.
Interestingly, the first time I met Fee, she reminded me of Miranda Priestley. She's giving Devil Wears Prada vibe. And I'm sure a lot of people who know her, know what I mean, no? But beyond the looks, she has commanding power and class to, convincing enough that she really knows her expertise in her field.
I remember telling my husband, like, oh, I'm working with like Miranda Priestley. Because like she will always show up. She's very stylish in everything she does. I was all for it. I know some people may have felt like, oh, it's a bit like over the top kind of thing. But we are in this industry, right? That's the very essence of like branding and marketing, and I love it.
And here we go. A few seconds, a smile.
Fashion to me is a strategy. If you take yourself seriously, the world takes you seriously. You create your presence the exact same way you built an empire, with precision, structure, and zero compromises. Walk into the room and command it.
One thing that influenced me about Fee is how she carries herself. She knows what she was doing. The moment she walks into a room, people go quiet, and it's not because it's out of fear, but it's out of respect. And it showed me how a person can be capable. To me, she's the epitome of a confident and a strong leader.
When my first internship contract ended, Fee actually met us here in Manila, and we ended up discussing a lot of things, including her Coca-Cola design story back when I think she was in university. It struck me as someone who's a creative, who's passionate and proud of her work. And I think I resonated a lot in that because as someone who's just starting out, I feel the same way in a lot of my design work. So I think she's a true creative at heart.
For me, I viewed her then as the visionary of the agency. I think I've probably told her this in person as well, right? Because she's the one who really imagines what Greenpark could be and sets about trying to make it happen. She had the vision to start the creative production team when it wasn't there before, right? And even the social team.
Looking back, I had a massive point to prove. Our first client for Social Scoop was Unilever's 7th generation. It was a plant-based household cleaning and personal care brand, but I didn't even have a team yet. So what I did was I put together a strategy, a proposal, and sold our very first social media scope before we had anyone to actually work on them. And then I hired Q.
I joined a social media person, and then suddenly I pasted.
Q was my very first hire. She ended up staying with me for 6 years, but we did not start on good terms. Honestly, I thought she hated me. She gave me such a hard time in the beginning.
I questioned her on whether it was really a good move for us to build social in the company, because the company was always about Google, it was always about websites, and I wasn't sure whether there was a future for social. But she had that vision in mind, and she really believed in what she was doing. When she believes in something, she puts her heart, soul, mind, everything to it. It kind of made me feel like, wow, if she can believe in me and, you know, the vision that she has in the company, right, then maybe it might be possible. I just have to believe in it, and over time, it worked.
I remember talking to my mom about it, and my mom told me, if she's giving you such a hard time, why not just let her go? I mean, that would be easier, but that's not how I roll.
When I first designed under Fe, right? Like, Fe is so detailed, even she will ask me, what's wrong with this design? Well, how did I know what's wrong with the design? But she know that my design is not centered, the space between the lines of the copy is not the same. It has really helped me a lot in my design process till now.
I think the most important thing I've learned working with Fe is that I should always design things with purpose. So I should always back my creative work, whatever I create, with a strong reasoning, even for like the smallest details, because when we design with purpose, clients can see that we are very confident in what we create, and therefore they trust more in us.
8 years ago, I didn't know anything about SEO. I came from creative background. I was with Ogilvy and Total Brand Activation, Pico events. My whole background was creative, and brand activation. So when I joined Greenpark, this is completely a new world. But here's an opportunity to bridge what I know with what the company does, because data is just numbers without storytelling. At the core of what makes a great brand is story.
She understands how the business works and how best to, be able to come in, support, and add value.
Fe is very collaborative. She's made things happen for us, even though I am a very, very challenging client. She's made a lot of efforts, a lot of investment from her end, to make things happen.
She's involved, like she worked on some of the projects that we breathed in. There's one project that she single-handedly working on it. It was about charity in Singapore. Created a whole new brand identity, I guess. Basically, it's already finished, and we just help with small little things.
She raised the bar by continuously and consistently challenging ideas of the team and the people that she worked with, which really prompted everyone to think on their toes and to always bring their A game to be ready to present to her. It's like always a thesis defense when it comes to Fe.
When I look back at a version of myself, I know I was tough. I am a tough person. I want the best in everything that we do.
and I like things done the right way. Especially back then, I had so much to prove. I was determined to show everyone that we could build a creative and social division from scratch to match already proven SEO team. But over the years, I do believe I have changed.
At first, it was tough on her because she was building the company, building everything from scratch, right? But over time, I realized that she cares a lot about the people that she works with. There's something that she's said to me actually. Q, when you take care of the people will take care of the business. And that made me, I guess that's something I internalized as a leader as well, because then that's how I also treat my team. And the thing about Fe is that she really, really fights for her people. When she believes in them, she gives them opportunity to grow, to flourish, to be recognized. And I think that's something that not all leaders actually do for their people. A lot of the times, some leaders may only see their team, their staff as just a number, on their head count, but they don't really care about the people that works for them. But Fe is not like that as a person.
Fe as a leader is very hands-on. I've told her many times that her superpower is problem solving. You can bring an issue to her and you may have turned it over in your head many, many times and you're at the dead end. So when you present the problem to her and ask her for help, she has a very different way of thinking about things. So it's almost like she helps get you out of the corner that you've trapped yourself in.
There was a time when I was talking about my doubts about a leadership role. And what I really appreciated is she opened up about herself. And the thing about leaders, when it comes to being vulnerable, sometimes they find that as a weakness. But she did not hesitate to share her vulnerable moments with me to make me feel that, even her, she went through something that challenging. And at the end of the day, everyone is a work in progress. So I was able to really relate to that, and that stuck with me.
I'm still me, but I see things differently now. I used to look at mistakes and think, I don't understand how this happened because I could have done it differently. But I realized that mindset takes up so much unnecessary energy, and you have to learn to protect your energy. Not everything requires a fight. That realization made me become a more patient person. It's still hard for me to tolerate things that is not done the right way. That never go away. But I realized that holding onto anger is just wasted energy. What people say, what they do, it's out of your control. And I always say this to my team, you can only control and manage your own emotions.
I think Fe, as someone who is a woman innovator of the year, she's not afraid of the future. I guess when she talks about the future, it's always, bright. The future for her is always a path. But the thing about it is that Fe leads, and when she leads, others follow.
She really knew what she wanted as a creative director, and she didn't settle at all. I remember when she was doing the rebranding for one of our long-standing projects, which is Mahi. I think it took like 1 or 2 years until she finally convinced the client to follow her creative direction. Usually people would just go along with what client wants, but not Fe. She was very relentless, I would say, when it comes to fighting for her ideas.
So building a team from scratch took a while. We had to structure it, integrate it, our ways of working between creative, production, and keep refining it until we were finally in a more stable place. And once we had the structure, we need to bring in the business. We needed to prove that social was actually in demand at Greenpark because it was something that I really wanted to push for. Back then, this service offering was not yet available. And then we won Ricola.
Fee was a very important part of that change and journey for Ricola because we did want partners who would very deeply understand our heritage and our culture as a long-standing family business, but also see what could change look like and what would new things or newness look like for the business and the brand. She was very patient as well as her team to really help us find what was suitable for us as a brand, but also taking us, more forward steps into building a more unique and distinctive positioning, in our social presence in Asia.
That really proves that, it was in demand. It was something that I needed to get started. And shortly after that, we pitched Relax with John, who we had worked with before at Unilever. With Relax, we started small in the beginning. It was Malaysia market, and then we expanded across the different APAC region. We even had, the opportunity to expand our social offering from always on social media to full community management. That was how we eventually evolved and grew our social media offering and ultimately our social media team.
I was very spoiled. Let's just put it that way. I was very spoiled because every time I would have a problem with, I don't know, a creative output that I'm not impressed with, or some strategy bit is not making sense, or costs becoming too expensive, I would always be just on WhatsApp and I would just send the message to Fee and I get the response right away. And that's, I think, a kind of relationship that any brand or any director would wish to have, because you have the best mind at your disposal within within just a text away, and that's always something I appreciate.
I pitched this huge TVC to an old client who had followed me, right, to Greenpark. And I've had experience previously in Ogilvy doing TVCs, so I could really see it in my head how everything was going to run. And I just needed the team to, jump with me. But the key challenge is that nobody in Greenpark had done it before. The creative team didn't have experience with that.
Throughout the different videos that we worked on, the different projects that we had together, I saw Fee as being very hands-on. So a leader that leads in the front, right? So the commander that is the first one to go out and fight the battle. And it was done in a way that was fun because those shoot days can be long, but I felt that she had an energy for not only work, but energy for life. And I consider her a friend as well. And so I think that is definitely something that makes her very comfortable to work with, to talk to, even brainstorm on new ideas. There's no judgment, no bad ideas, and also she's a real good collaborator.
Just as we were expanding, COVID hit. This impacted the team who's not able to meet in person and eventually changed the way we worked. That's how Fit O'Clock was born. I wanted to create an outlet for people to keep fit, still, breaking the routine of working from home.
Fee is really into promoting health and wellness in our company. So she went out and bought activity trackers for everyone just so that they could join Fit O'Clock.
I remember one time she messaged me personally, pushing me to go harder so my team could climb the rankings. So what I see there, it was about her wanting us to see what we were actually capable of.
Also wanted to make sure that we were feeling connected as a team. And that was why, it was really important for people to participate in the Fit O'Clock.
She flew me out to Singapore for the Spartan race. We went through every single obstacle together, like the mud, the walls, the fatigue. It showed me that she doesn't just lead from the front, but she also stays right next to you until the finish line.
I think the memory that sticks out the most for me about Fee
is she's just so game, and like I'd never seen a head of a company, willing to crawl in the mud with people that she works with.
Building the work is one thing, but selling the work, growing the business, that's a completely different endurance. It's the tenacity, it's the resilience, it's the people on the front line with me. We were nonstop chasing people and trying to, make sure that they say yes.
I would describe working with Fe as if I'm on a treadmill. We're always moving, we're always exploring something new, and you really have to be not walking, but you have to be like running with her wherever she's going. Otherwise, you'll get left behind.
When I tell you that she listens, she really does. And I guess throughout the years, I've seen her grow. Not just not just being a managing director, but also being a person. She acknowledges when there are things that need improvement.
During the first week, I was brought into, I think, 5 to 8 different meetings. The first meeting, only me and her. I only introduced myself, and she took the entire presentation by herself. And I was blown away because this woman commanded the room when she walked in. The way she spoke about what we were trying to sell, she was very knowledgeable.
Fe will not take no for an answer, so don't even try. And if there is no chair at the table, Fe will bring her own, and she will be joining you at the table.
Fe really gave me the confidence to kind of both push my boundaries and put up boundaries of my own. I remember one of the major discussion points we had was me learning to say no, because I was such a people pleaser and I just wanted to say yes to everything to kind of prove myself that I was worthy of being in Greenpark. I was worthy of this huge client. But Fe told me it was okay to say no, as long as, it's beneficial for everyone.
Fe's management style, it taught me to find that brilliance in people, right? To have the patience to guide them and how to make them shine, right? To not, make it seem like it was the work of one, but that everyone helped to push this work forward. After all, right, with all that toughness, it does take a lot of pressure to turn a rock into a diamond.
Whatever she expects from others, she first proves that she can do it herself. The standards she sets are high, but never unreasonable because she leads by example. This has really shaped the kind of leader I want to become too.
She's fought for all of us, not just me, the entire company, the people that she believed in. Because she fights for her people, it's just makes sense that, when I could do the same for her, that was when I stepped up.
She always makes time to get personal. She is someone who cares as much about the people as she does about the state of the business.
Simple as it is, she asks like, hey girl or hey lady, how are you? Everything okay? When you're in this mental rut at work and you're like burnout or you're very stressed, nothing beats feeling seen from the big boss.
There's a part of this journey that people don't always see. It can be incredibly hard being misunderstood. Not everyone see your vision the right way, where all the things that you have done behind the scenes to protect them. They always say heavy lies the crown. And honestly, for years, I felt that deeply. But the last few years, something slowly changed. A team that I completely trust and rely on. They became my support system. And I know that you're going to hear a lot from them saying that I've helped them. But honestly, they have truly helped me. So I don't feel like I have to carry the weight alone. And I know that they will do a great job. And I'm proud of everybody who's evolved over the years.
She doesn't show us her off days, if she does have off days, but she doesn't show it to us.
People expect for Fe as a leader, as a managing director, to always be tough, to always be strong. But like what I want her to remember, like everyone is human, so she is also human, that she also have that side of her.
I mean, as a leader, she's able to keep everything on point, you know? The tone, her look, just smiling when she knows people need to feel a positive vibe.
8 years from this tiny room to over 100 people across APAC. We survived the pandemic. We won all these global clients. We won multiple awards. I am so proud of everything that we have accomplished.
Her legacy to me is something that she always say that really stuck with me, which is create your own path. She faced a lot of obstacles, especially from old system and the way things were usually done. But she never let that box her in.
You know, as managing director, I feel like she's the only woman there, right, at the moment. And she's the only Asian woman, and that can't be easy. And I am so proud with how she really manages to make space in that table. And, you know, she deserves that seat in that table.
She actually became calmer and just let go. Yeah. Because before she actually stresses out on everything, even the little stuff.
Now she thinks more of a bigger picture rather than just focusing on the nitty-gritty of things. Looking back at everything, it's not the trophies that get to me. It's watching the lessons I've learned, everything that I've done, that I've passed down to the team, to see them grow and evolve. They didn't know they could do it until they did it.
Her legacy is really more on the people that she has touched, the people that she has grown and honed to be the person right now. And I guess I'm also a testament of that. We as a group here in Greenpark, I think we are the legacy of she.
Something that she values a lot is making sure that she's able to instill this competitiveness, this fire, and of course, most importantly, the empathy, right, to her leaders, to make sure that everyone else feels they are safe, that in case they fail, somebody has their back.
We built a culture of grit. We built something real. But honestly, we're just getting started. I am so proud of everything that the team has built.
Wait, before I answer the question, I want to sign an agreement that this will not cost me my job.
Fe, congratulations on your 8th work anniversary. It's such a milestone, such an achievement, and we're so grateful to have you as someone who inspires us every day.
Of course, I'd just like to also thank you for the opportunities you gave me. I mean, all the pressure, but it did make me a lot better as a leader and as a creative.
So I think I really appreciate that, the way Fe has mentored me, and then I truly appreciate what Fe has done.
Thank you for the push, the Spartan memories, and for always keeping it 100% you.
Thank you for pushing me to think bigger, challenge myself, and believe that more is possible.
I do want to also congratulate you for having the unapologetic courage to really fight for what you believe in and what you truly think you deserve.
I would really like to say thank you for being a strong yet vulnerable woman leader. Happy work anniversary, and I hope you continue to be your phenomenal self.
From the deepest of my heart, thank you for all the challenges, the trust, and also the standards that you've set over the years. And I'm really wishing you to continue impact in the next chapter.
Thank you for taking care of me and taking care of my team for all these many years that we've worked together. I'm excited to see what you do next when you are actually able to finally get a full night's rest.
From the day you appear and the day you will leave, you've inspired so many with all you've achieved.
If you look at how we are as an agency as well, it's all about, not just about doing good work, but it's also recognizing good talents, giving them an opportunity for everyone to be seen, for their voices to be heard.
Every aspect of how the agency is today
it's really attributable because she pushed for it, she believed in it, and that's how Greenpark is today. If it's not for Fee, I think we would be a different agency.
You know, she had such a strong business sense, but she really was truly a creative person. And that kind of creativity really translates into sound business ideas, but also really pushes them into new frontiers. She understands people very well, I think, and that other sense of passion also really powers a lot of the work that she's done with us and the way I see her dealing with people well and beyond the work. So ultimately, at the end, I think what I appreciate, you know, having known Fee now for many years, is that she's a great collaborator when it comes to work, but she's also an impressive human being.
I'm gonna fight 'em all. A seven-nation army couldn't hold me back. They're gonna rip it all.